Alright, we're back for more Skyrim, possibly the last episode of the series. I don't know. We'll certainly find out. Let's talk to Serana first. We're here at Volkihar.
This isn't really a good time.
Well, that blows. Verther was saying something about vampire blood in the bow.
It sounds like that's the last bit of the prophecy. The blood of a daughter of Cold Harbor can corrupt the bow.
You're a daughter of Cold Harbor.
So I am. I guess we could use my blood. Do you have any arrows? Elven arrows? I'm not going to just bleed on any old thing.
Sure.
Let's just get this over with.
Thanks. Are you ready to do this?
I don't think you can ever be ready to kill your parent. I'm doing my best to not think of him as my father anymore.
Let me know if you need
We've
anything.
got enough to worry about right now. You stay focused, and I'll worry about me. Just leave me alone for now. I'll be fine.
Alright. Whatever you say. Let's... Nope. Let us... get some poison. Oh shit, I should have picked up some fucking poison. Damn it! I keep thinking about all the damn things that the stupid... No, whatever. Stupid auto-sorting. Whatever. Whatever, man. Here we are. Volgar, where it all began, pretty much. I mean, you know, technically it was at Fort Dawnguard, but that is irrelevant. Liberal. do 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 do. Hello, everyone.
Don't keep our master waiting. Take him the bow immediately.
I have everything I need right here.
Our lord will be most pleased, I'm sure. I knew you could do it.
I'm sure your reward will be great for ensuring our
Do you
lord's
need anything,
success.
sir? What? Can I assist you? No, I live to serve. No, I don't need anything right now.
Garen, anything to say?
Find Lord Harkon. Let him know the time of the prophecy is at hand.
Hello, Harkon. Interesting, they made it its own cell. I don't think that was...
So, you've returned. Is your pet keeping you entertained?
You know why we're here.
Of course I do. You disappoint me, Serana. You've taken everything I provided for you and thrown it all away for this pathetic half-breed vampire.
Provided for me? Are you insane? You've destroyed our family. You've killed other vampires, all over some prophecy that we barely understand. No more. I'm done with you. You will not touch him.
So, I see this dragon has fangs. Your voice drips with the venom of your mother's influence. How alike you've become.
No. Because unlike her, I'm not afraid of you. Not anymore.
And you. It appears I have you to thank for turning my daughter against me. I knew it was only a matter of time before your ambition outgrew your loyalty.
Loyalty? You never intended to let me live.
A small price to pay for the betterment of our kind.
You're an insult to all of us.
Oh, come now. Spare me your notions of kinship. You've simply used Serana in an attempt to take away what should rightfully be mine.
I'm here to prevent our annihilation.
Ah, I see you've been speaking to Valerica, and she's convinced you that eternal night will plunge us into war with daytime dwellers. If only it were so. With the world in shadow, we would never tire, never weaken, more than a match for their pitiful arms.
Then you would run out of food, you dink.
Little patience for talk. Good. Let's end this.
Oh, that's smart. Damn it. Damn it, that was Serrano. Oh shit. Where'd Serrana go? Oh, hi, Serrana. Really? I don't know about that. Why are there two of them? Whatever.
Well, now that's done.
What are you gonna do now?
I'm not sure. I'll probably stay here for as long as they'll let me. I think we can rebuild here. Make my family's legacy something more respectable. Of course, if you've got any more adventures planned.
I'd love to have you along.
That's what I wanted to hear. Lead
Lord
on.
Harkon defeated. I never imagined I'd see the day. My lady, you have my deepest sympathies. I am sure this was not easy for you.
He was out of control, Baron. It had to be done. I'm not happy about this. He was still my father. But I suppose my father really died a long time ago. This was just the end of something else.
Of course, my dear. All will be well now. My congratulations on defeating Harkon. Clearly, you are the superior vampire. You are the new master. We bow to your power. A power which, I note, includes Oriel's bow. The castle, of course, is yours. We shall follow you and help spread your influence across Skyrim. I am above the petty squabbles here. I have lived.
Alright, I guess that's that then.
I saw more than enough political maneuvering in my time in House Dress.
I don't know if this drops anything. No, it's just a random chest, I guess. Alright, so that is full circle, everybody. So we are finished. Absolutely. We've done all the main stuff. Isn't that right? Orthorn, or whatever your damn name is.
Can't trust a word that comes. We need strength, power, not magic. Elves don't seem to understand.
Alright, but that is that. We have finally finished. We have finished the main quest lines in this game. So, yeah, it's been a while, you know, even you know, in YouTube time, as I guess we'll call it. It has especially been a long time. It'll be approximately a year and a half? About a year and a half. No, actually a little bit longer. I don't know. This is probably going to be uploaded in like late 2019. Actually, let's do some math, actually. Some rough guesstimations. Let's see. I have a grand total of 41 videos to upload. We're at episode 205, so 205 plus 40... How many did I just say? I literally forgot. Let's find out. 41 gives us 246. So that's that. If you figure approximately 15 uploads per month, maybe. I don't really know how accurate that statement is. June, July, August. So this will probably be uploaded around September 2019, so about a year and a half. For me, it's only been about 6 months, almost exactly. In fact, we can get almost an exact number. So today is June 24th, and we started this on January 11th. So that's how long it's been. Kind of crazy when you think about it. And we have wasted, I don't really know if I would call it wasted, but 195 hours on this playthrough K. Roman. As you can see, it is nowhere near original K. Roman length, which almost 600. But he was level 73, and right now we're level 77. So I think we're doing more with our time, you know. But I guess that's that. We finally completed it all. It's been a long run. You know, I'm doubtful that I will probably record anything else with this playthrough. Yeah, ultimately, you'll see in the next few days. If you see another video uploaded, well, you have your answer. I mean, I can tell you off the top of my head, there's maybe 4 quest lines from mods that I haven't done right now. Those are in probably manner of importance. Oh, can I just take this now? Oh, sweet, I can. In manner of importance, that's Great Cowl of Nocturnal, Helgen Reborn, False Scar. There's another one I just remembered that I just can't even remember. I know that there's also the Explorer's Guild, but that's kind of like broken as we speak. I don't know what the other one was. Oh, I forget what the mod's called. It's Orphans of the Stars. I forget what mod this is from. I'm just blanking right now. So we could do those. I really wouldn't know. I can't say for certain if I will. I think if there's one that I will do, it's probably Grey Cowl of Nocturnal. So that's something you'll see in the next few days. If you see another upload, then there you go. I think I'll have something explaining it. If not, then, well, there you go. Great Cowls, it's possible I'll do it. It's also possible I won't, because it's covering ground that was already covered on my channel back in 2015, I think. So, again, say that if you will. So we'll see. In the event that this is the last one, let me give some closing thoughts and remarks. So, ultimately, I think we all know my opinions of Skyrim. I like it for what it is. I think with mods, it's a damn good game. I think I can say that. It's pretty good. I think the quest lines from the expansions are pretty well done. All the main guild quest lines, I like the lore behind the College of Winterhold, but it's not really that particularly interesting aside from the lore. Companions are kind of meh. Dark Brotherhood's really good, same as Thieves Guild. Main quest is good. Civil War, obviously more could have been done with it. But with mods, this game does become really good, I think. I don't think many people would really argue with that statement. But of course, a lot of time does go into perfecting your load order. It's, for all intents and purposes, extremely hard, really, to do this on your own. It's you know, it's something that I've built up over the course of 7 years. And so I've been good at making load orders and doing some rough testing to make sure nothing, you know, explodes, essentially.
Let's get in first.
But, you know, it's all pretty damn interesting. Let's go to Corinth here while I talk. I think that's a good place to close out. Nope, that's an Oblivion Gate. So, and I think something that can obviously be talked about right now, because it's obviously very potent with how, right now, it was just about a week or two ago, that TES 6 was announced. And I think by the time that I'm talking now, we'll probably be looking, E3 2018, or 2019 would have already occurred. So, and I think even by the time I speak now, I'll be a different person with college and everything, you know. Anyway, by the time I'm speaking right now, E3 2019 would have already occurred. But I think you can obviously talk about TES 6. We know that Starfield will obviously occur in between it. So we're talking at the absolute earliest, which I find to be unlikely, is 2020. I think it'll actually be a little bit later than that. Can we load the... Thank you. Am I blood starved? No, I'm not. Good. No, it doesn't even, like, stop that. So we're stuck with this disgusting red screen. Okay. Whatever.
No?
Anywho. You know, you can talk about a lot about what TES 6 is be. You know, a lot of people are saying Hammerfell or High Rock. That's what I personally think it is. I could be totally wrong, you know, but I think evidence points towards that way, especially with the references that you can clearly see of Hammerfell in Skyrim. So, it's pretty interesting. I think there's a few things that Bethesda does need to do in order for their game to really succeed. I think regardless of really what Bethesda does, they'll certainly have TES 6 to be really well done. I think that even now, with the hype that's building up, even from a fucking teaser trailer from a game that'll be long gone, I think even speaking now, you know that they're going to make a massive profit. You know, you're probably going to have everybody who played Skyrim buy it. That's pretty self-explanatory. You're definitely going to have tons of just people buy it. You know, you're going to have new players that are like, "Ooh, well, Skyrim was a really well-received game. Let's go buy it." They have a lot of people that are going to be buying the game. So, I think they're going to make a massive profit on it. But the question is, you know, is it going to be well-received? Bethesda does have a very important thing to do, and that's really to act as, you know, competition has really arisen over the years. By the time Skyrim was released, there were very few games which I would say were truly open world, were truly an RPG, and could seriously compete with Skyrim. Most of these were limited RPGs, you know, that weren't truly open world. I can think of Dragon Age. You know, you can't make the argument that Dragon Age was truly open world because it had zones. You can call it that, but, you know, I don't consider it to be that. Now, you have many games that can easily compete with Skyrim. You know, you have The Witcher 3, you have Kingdom Come Deliverance, you have a ton of other games that now fill up this void.
That's not great for my skin.
Yes, thank you. You know, so they have to compete. Now, there's a few things they can do. I think that what with Kingdom Come Deliverance and Witcher 3, which are clearly some of the most big name, I guess you could say, competitors to TES 6. I think that they will logically need to step up their writing game. Now, what will that mean? I can't really say. I think that they have to make an environment where the characters are truly believable and where the player character creates a bond with them. I think they did a really good job here with Serana. You know, you can see with Serana, over time, merely talking to her, engaging in conversations, you go on a whole fucking quest line with her. And you build up a relationship with her. It's not as deep as it could have been, but it's still a pretty deep relationship that you can see relative to all of Skyrim. You barely have a relationship with Delphine and Esbern. You know, even to the point where, essentially, they fucking throw you out if you don't do what they say, which is ludicrous. 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 That should never have been written in. But they need to create characters that travel on you in your journeys, that you can create a believable relationship with. Now, whether these are companions or just NPCs in general, we'll have to see. But it's a deep connection that needs to be made. Okay. And that being said, I think we still need a lot of companions that are kind of like basic, you know, like the mercenaries, like the companions or whatever, that, you know, still have a good amount of dialogue, but, you know, aren't as big as these big name companions. Just so there's a lot more variety. But they do need to step up their writing game. If you make if you just play The Witcher 3 or even Kingdom Come Deliverance, you'll see that your character does develop relationships with massive amounts of characters as the story progresses. With Skyrim, you know, that barely happens. You know, of course, you can obviously make the argument that there are the big name characters that you do have a relationship with, but it's not as, it's more skin deep. It's more a relationship of necessity. Okay. Of course, you can obviously make the argument these are relationships of necessity here, but at least they have the appearance of real conversations, character development that they really don't have as much in Skyrim. So when you see it with Serana, it's big. You know, it's kind of a big deal, and I think it's probably a step in the right direction. If you look at Oblivion, you obviously have a pretty damn deep connection with Martin Septim, with Joffrey. Joffrey, who can die in the main quest line. With Boris. These are just ones that I can think of off the top of my head. They're not as deep as, I guess you could say, Serana is, but, you know, relative to everything else. So, in The Witcher 3, you have many companions that are, you know, have a huge impact on your playthrough, and you develop relationships with them. Even characters that, you know, obviously appear in other Witcher games, but that being said. So the writing does need to be stepped up. Okay, you need to create more believable characters, and I think, lore-wise, they're probably on the right track. I know some people were kind of mad, oh, Bethesda didn't do a good job with, you know, ESO making in, you know, a quote-unquote war that didn't happen and whatever. Well, you knew the interregnum happened, but you didn't, you know, they didn't go into deep detail with it, what happened. So, I'm okay with some limited retcons here and there. It's reasonable, but we'll see. The one thing I am extraordinarily worried about with TES 6, and this is probably my only reservation, is I'm going to be extraordinarily mad if, you know, the main character is voiced. I think one of the things that stands Skyrim out from Kingdom Come, from The Witcher, is that your character isn't voiced. You are your character, for all intents and purposes. You speak like your character and whatnot. So if they do that, it's probably going to be a step in the wrong direction, in my opinion. So, I really hope they don't do that. I would be really disappointed in deep ways that I cannot even begin to describe. And I think even from a perspective of right now, you know, you're talking about, there's 10 races? 10 races. So you got to figure that's 20 voice actors. Okay, they can't pull an Oblivion where one person voices multiple races. You just can't do that. They're different. You know, and you can't give the player a massive backstory like they did with Fallout. But, you know, I think that's just Fallout writing versus Skyrim writing. But I am worried because of, you know, voice actors, voice protagonists. So I really hope they don't do that. And even then, you know, it really does limit the dialogue options, and it just creates a poor, you know, ultimately the dialogue options will be streamlined, and you can't ask the questions that you need to, because now you're having to pay essentially double the money, you know, than what was previously needed. World building, I think, was really well done with Skyrim in general. I think if I probably had like one thing to say about the world building that I would say that I really disliked, that would probably be the city designs. But I think that was probably a result of limitations on consoles. If you compare it to Oblivion, the cities in Oblivion all were big. They were walled. They were extraordinarily important. Okay, there were a lot of NPCs there, many guards. You could talk to the guards even. In Skyrim, that's not the case. Guards will comment on things, but, you know, a lot of the cities just aren't walled. If you just go to the map, only 5 of the 9 cities in the game are walled. Those are Whiterun, Solitude, Markarth, Windhelm, and Riften. Cities like Winterhold, which I'm okay with. Winterhold because it was, you know, totally destroyed essentially, which I think is reasonable. Dawnstar is not walled. Falkreath is not walled. Morthal is not walled. So these don't feel like cities. They genuinely don't. Even Solitude and Windhelm, which are arguably probably the biggest, although I think by population Riften probably is because of the Thieves Guild, but we just won't talk about that. They're really small cities. They're not as big as Oblivion cities, and they don't feel as well lived in. So that's just what I think. I think they need to expand the cities, make them feel much more lived in. If you go and just compare it to Novigrad from The Witcher 3, and I know I'm stroking my Witcher 3 dick, our gaming circle jerk, but I think even if you look at it from now, you can really do see that it is a good game, and I think especially if you just compare it to modern day releases, it's still a good game. Okay. But anyway, if you look at those, you know, they're not as big cities. If you look at Novigrad, it's insanely big. Now to compensate that, The Witcher 3 probably has only, I would make the argument of probably 3 main cities. But Novigrad is still really big, and I think whatever the capital, hopefully Sentinel, it should be really big. I'm not talking Novigrad size, but, you know, sizable in comparison to all the other cities. So there's a lot of things that they can do right. I think crafting with Skyrim was probably one of my most loved, I guess, ideas that was added to the game. I think that with the advent of TES 6, I think they should probably go in the direction of how ESO did it. With crafting, and I'm not talking about like all the things it did, but I'm talking about how you have racial crafting. A High Elf's leather armor will look different from a Nord's leather armor, which I thought was a really cool idea, and really, you know, made your character feel a little bit unique. So I think they should probably go down that route. I think that was pretty interesting. But that's ultimately nothing really that important, so, yeah. I hope magic is expanded upon. In Skyrim they took some, you know, right direction. In some ways they didn't. I think that having the ability to dual wield combined spells was a cool idea, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. Spells are fairly limited. You couldn't combine elements. I think that's something TES 6 should probably do. Okay. Combat in Skyrim was definitely a direct upgrade from Oblivion and Morrowind, especially Morrowind. I think, you know, but that being said, there isn't really much point to the stamina bar. You know, there's power attacks, you know, in 3 major directions. It's the same, obviously, this way. And then sprinting, you know, and so that's a pretty useless bar, all things considered. It doesn't really serve that much of a purpose. I think with TES 6 you can have parries and counterattacks, kind of like how Kingdom Come does it. If you block for any sustained period of time, perhaps your stamina bar should decrease. These are things that can just obviously be included. Goodbye, Rock. I think you should really go home. Goodbye, Rock. You will be missed. Not really. So. I think combat can definitely be improved, but I think combat, linearly speaking, does get better with each Elder Scrolls game, so that's not something I'm really worried about. I think customization of weapons could probably be done. One thing I should say that Skyrim didn't do well was making artifacts seem very unique. I believe in the default game, Dragon's Bane is normally a textured blades weapon, like a very samurai sword, like a very katana, rather. So they should make artifacts more uniquely textured. Just it's some of the small things that can easily be made. It's like, well, it's kind of useless. So that's really what I think, you know, TES 6 can really improve upon. Those are really the things I can think of off the top of my head, pretty much. Like I said, Skyrim isn't a bad game. It's pretty damn good, I think. It certainly does have its problems. Anyone who plays this game for any substantial period of time will come to those realizations. Let's go check, just how many hours I have on this Christ-forsaken game. I did buy this game on day of release. In fact, night of release. I went to the midnight release. I have 2,562 hours as of, right now. And that's just, obviously, with this edition. The special edition, I think I only have an hour and a half. But it can improve. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that, you can clearly see Skyrim's faults. And that's not a bad thing. People saying, oh, well, trying to claim that this game is a godsend is ludicrous. Okay, it's ludicrous, alright? It's got problems, it does. But that being said, it's still a pretty damn good game. And you can love the game for its problems. I have some problems with The Witcher 3, that's for certain. I think some of the writing in certain quests is a little bit ridiculous. Combat could certainly be improved, nobody's arguing there. The game could even be in first person, I think it would be better there. There's a lot of things that these games can improve upon, okay? And I think as a person, you should never be offended by these criticisms. You really shouldn't, as whether you're a Bethesda employee, Bethesda writer, just your average player, don't be offended by criticism. And that's just like something I really want to take away with this whole playthrough for anybody who's watched it for any extensive period of time, is that you have to, I've talked about this a few times. Criticism is something very deep. There's being an asshole about criticism, and just, not really being a critic and trying to help a person improve, but instead just bashing on them without, any sort of, logic or reason to it, which is, just dumb. It is, okay? It just is. Nobody's being held in that situation, and of course, the person is going to respond negatively to that criticism. That being said, criticism that is, reasonable, person's just trying to, help you be better, you gotta accept it. So, don't be offended, of course. These games can certainly be improved. To claim that they're God's hand is ridiculous. I still love the game. Almost 2,600 hours, like I said. I've wasted a substantial amount of time in this game. And it, certainly is a part of me. The Elder Scrolls is obviously, I would say it's probably a little bit of a defining factor in my personality, I guess. I don't know. Just as a little bit of a, a reference, I guess? I don't know. The Elder Scrolls probably made me a little bit more religious than I previously was. I think when I look back at Oblivion, I live in Massachusetts. This is just a little bit of an aside. And religion, generally speaking, isn't, really something people talk about. I would say most of the people here aren't irreligious or agnostic or atheist, but I would say that religion just isn't talked about. In the Elder Scrolls, religion is almost put forth, at the front. And, it made me, delve more deeper into my faith, into my Catholic faith. And, I think it's really affected me in that way. So video games can certainly affect you. I think The Elder Scrolls is part of my personality as a result. But, that's just, a little bit of an aside. And I think we're probably getting in, a long length period now. I don't know. It's almost 33 minutes now with this video. But, if anybody else is curious in my insights, just pop something down in the comment if you want me to explain something. I'll be certain to respond to your question at least as quickly as I can. Like I said, unlikely that I'll continue this quest line. If people are really interested, I guess I will. Barring anything insane doesn't happen in the next year and a half that I just physically can't play Skyrim, which is certainly possible. Hashtag just engineering things. But that's just my spiel. So, like I said, it was a grand old time. I think I really did enjoy this playthrough. It's been a lot of fun. It really has. It's glad to fully do a complete replay of Skyrim from start to finish, and I did enjoy it. So I hope you all enjoyed this adventure too. I don't really know what the quote-unquote next series in my channel will be. I did pick up Tyranny the other day on the Steam Summer Sale, so you might see a playthrough of that. Picked up the new Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Origins, so I might play that too. Again, it's all if people are interested in seeing it. So, yeah, that's the shoebop, the shadowy boop. Or whatever, I don't really speak English anymore. So thank you all for watching. Have a great day. God bless you. And here's hoping that the TES VI is really good, and that they take some of the faults that they found in Skyrim, some of the criticisms, and they really build upon them and make the game genuinely one of the best game experiences probably ever. So, like I said, thank you all for watching, and welcome, ready for next series. Thank you all for watching.